Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 34th episode of the DroPodcast. Welcome. Today we have three amazing guests. We got a returning guest, Mr. Asorr, and we got two new guys, Coralus and Alpha141. Welcome, guys. Maybe it's nice to introduce yourself. Mr. Coralus, can you tell a little bit about yourself?
I've been playing Planetside for about 5 years now, and I'm currently the head organizer of the Community Smash event, which is going to be happening in about 2 months' time.
Ooh, okay. We're going to talk more about that later. Mr. Alpha, who are you? What do you do for Planetside?
Actually, I've been here before.
I know.
Forgot. No, I've also been playing for a long time. I have the only animated picture out of all three of us, which is very special. But I am one of the two head organizers of the Bastion Smash, which is going to be happening on the 25th of April. And that's it. That's all the important stuff.
We're also going to talk about the Bastion Smash a bit more today. As you mentioned in the title, guys, today is all about Smashes because there are so many community events happening in the coming months and weeks. So stay tuned for that. Our last guest is Mr. Asorr. Welcome. What about you, Asorr? How are you doing?
I'm good. I do a lot of leading for Right on Emerald, and then I also am one of the two organizers of NATO on Emerald, which is kind of a conglomerate of all the outfits.
And can you tell a little bit more about Right? What kind of outfit is it?
Right's an infantry-focused outfit, mainly focused on just capping bases, playing the objective, on just working as a team.
Okay, nice. I see the few topics for today. We've got the Outfit Wars revamp, we've got the Bastion Smash, we've got the Lane Smash, and we've got the Community Smash. And if there are any questions from the audience, of course, you can use !question and ask your question as usual. Let's talk about the Outfit Wars first, because I don't know, have you guys seen the Reddit lately? Do you ever watch Reddit for Planetside 2?
Yes.
Shit's been happening there.
Yeah.
Some people are very content with this update, and other people are quite unhappy with it.
And what's your opinion, Coralus?
To be honest, I think it could and should have been fleshed out a bit more. I think at this point in time, that Daybreak, despite the input that some people have given, have still gone ahead with a system that's flawed from the ground up. And the way in which the system currently promotes either zerging or ghost capping is something that could and should have been prevented before the update got released. At least that's my take on it.
And currently ghost capping is an issue because also in off-continents they can get the points, or is that the case right now? Or?
Yes, and my main problem with it is that I don't really care what people do, but I want to have fun fights, and if every single fight is either trying to be a Zerg or trying to be a ghost cap where there's no one else, it's kind of counterintuitive to what I would want in this game, which is just a fun, fairly even fight.
Interesting. And Mr. Alpha, you are also keen, I think, on playing on Cobalt with the Outfit Wars. How are you guys doing so far?
Well, Coralus and I are from the same outfit.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
The thing is, a lot of the T guys were, I think, understandably quite annoyed that the huge lead was deleted. And T is, for both good and bad reasons, the topic of controversy. I'm not going to go against that. Point is, though, the system initially, and even still this one, is very much designed for larger groups. And T, just like Recursion or Wuhan Clan on Miller, and nowadays B-Way on Emerald, are the ones that are just in the hundreds and are going up against the Zergfits of thousands. Like on Cobalt, it's Mood that we're going up against, which is an outfit that was created within weeks and just spam invited everyone and everything that moved. Emerald is fighting the biggest outfit in the game, I believe, at least on the NA and EU servers. I'm not entirely sure about Soltec. So the guys are still relatively interested and are still going strong. Like, I am incredibly proud of them, but the problem is it is unhealthy, I want to say. Since I'm both in B-Way and in T, I know that the B-Way guys are burning out rather quickly. T does not have that issue, funnily enough, but I'm pretty sure that a bunch of people will just quit, at least temporarily, after Outfit Wars is done. Outfit Wars 2, I'm not entirely sure if that's even a question for anyone at the moment. But to add what Coralus said, Outfit Wars, the current iteration as well, and the previous one, they just encourage a very toxic playstyle, which includes purposefully ignoring other allied bases so that you can recap them, not going for defenses specifically, going down a lane, going out of your way to honestly not fight anyone simply because all that matters are bases. Now with the changes that only the top 10 players are counted, sure, that's a little bit of a difference, but the base idea doesn't change. You put your allies up against yourself. And that's where we saw team killing allegations. Capping became, a controversy of like, oh my god, there's like a bunch of people that abused a few systems where you can get points at a different base, and then you go to a specific base and then you cap it, which I've not seen confirmed, but that's the sort of stuff that you hear. So obviously it's ripe for drama, and the overall feeling that I got in the end was this really put the community up against itself. And I'm not entirely sure if that was a good thing.
And if I'm correct, the qualification phase is ending tonight. Is that true?
Tomorrow at 8 p.m.
Ah, okay. So
We're almost done.
You're almost done, actually.
Yeah.
Are you guys tired for playing right now?
For me, the last 2 weeks was only organizing and maybe 1 or 2 hours of Planetside, so no. But since I've been leading a few T platoons, yes, it is draining. But other people, especially people who play during the night and do the night shifts for us, those are the real heroes. And the fact that they still keep going is just amazing to me.
Yeah, totally agree. I don't think I've even played as much as Alpha, and I'm already getting burned out myself. So mad respect to the people who actually play for 12 hours a day, just ghost capping or... Yeah, that's incredible.
But you guys are tryharding. I want to fast forward a little bit to the next weekend, so when the Outfit Wars are really happening. So let's assume you guys are going to be the number one on the leaderboard. You will be facing the other opponents from Cobalt. Are you expecting a nice matchup, or are you going to face other Zergfits?
It's definitely going to be Zergfit. So far, it's 91st AR on NC, which is a Zergfit, and 3 PG, which is also a Zergfit on TR. The thing that concerns me, and I probably know a lot less than other team members that actually actively play, is there were controversies on both Cobalt and Miller, where there were like actual agreements between factions in order to go up against us and Wuhan Clan. Not entirely sure if this will actually play out in Outfit Wars, where the other two factions will go up against us and just double team us. It might happen. Will it change much? We'll see. But it is definitely a possibility, and I wouldn't actually be surprised if they did. The question still is, are the people that they can bring actually coherent core members that read outside of the game and not just people who log in, play under the flag of 91st AR or 3PG. I think 3PG has less of a problem that regard than 91st AR. But it's going to be interesting.
And is there also already a dedicated team that's going to play next weekend, or is that still up in the air?
I believe that the people leading have made proper preparation. So I believe that a few of us are already designated to be playing, and the rest is just those people who have put in the most work are inclined to play.
That's fair enough. I'm just wondering right now, because I think seeing all those sweaty veterans on T site, going to face off the Zergfits on Cobalt, and I'm just if there's going to be a fair fight, a fair 1v1v1, and there's never going to be a fair fight, but I don't see where the fun of it will be for you guys versus the Zergfits. Or do you guys have a different vision on that?
I can only speak it for myself in that regard. It's going to be like this on every server from what I've seen so far. Connery with Recursion, Emerald with B-Way, if they can actually maintain their first lead spot, Wuhan Clan and Miller. I'm not entirely sure who I heard this say, but I remember that it was either a stream itself or another podcast. I'm not sure. I think it might have been Derringe's podcast. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Derringe's, who said that the only interesting matches are going to be between Zergfits alike. And back in the old system, the only two servers that actually had mid-fits or elite-fits, whatever you want to call them, in the top spot were Cobalt with us and Connery with Recursion. Now you have it on every server. I do believe that having a three-way complete Zergfit equal skill match play out would be way ideal than what's going to happen. But at the same time, I very much do believe that T in itself is there to make a point. That's at least my opinion. And I know that a bunch of T members do share that. There are, of course, those who want to just be first in, the first of its kind outfit wars, which is fair enough in itself. But then again, there needs to be a point made that this system is very much disruptive to not just players themselves and how they actually have to put in the work, but also the way you put up your own faction members against each other.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I got a question for you, Asorr. I don't think you're going to participate yourself with the Outfit Wars, or are you?
I will be participating with GSLD in the Outfit Wars with an alt account.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay. I was actually just curious. Are you? Let's say you're. I think a few hours before Emerald is actually starting. Cobalt and Miller will be playing Outfit Wars. Are you interested in seeing those matches being played?
I think so, because I want to see. Are there still some Zergfits that are making their way into that top bracket? Because I'd like to see some of these. Like, what happens if you get a full platoon? Is it going to favor those guys heavily that are higher skilled, or are they just going to Zerg drop on every base and just outnumber and just shift population quickly? What's going to happen? That's
so you're going to base your own strategy also on what's happening on the different servers, or?
I'm not going to be in charge, but I would hope we'd take that into advantage. I want to see mainly Recursion. I really want to see what happens and how much they dominate on there, because they plan on coming to Emerald after and winning on Emerald. And then they plan on going to another server and doing it there.
So they think already ahead for Outfit Wars 2.
Yeah.
Interesting. And how is have you been burnt out already with Planetside 2 due to the system? Or are you still happily playing?
I'm still happily playing, but it is very annoying.
And what annoys you the most? Yeah?
So far, B-Way messing with off continents and all the high skill fits, at least on the TR and the VS, both gone to the off continents trying to cap bases. And that gets a little annoying, so.
I agree. I think it's not that bad on Miller yet, but we will see in the future if it's going to change. So far, I think the Outfit Wars revamp. I think next weekend will be pretty interesting, and also because after Monday, the qualification phase is going to end. Maybe there will be less tryharding. We will see. The next topic is going to be the Bastion Smash, and we got one of the organizers in here. Alpha, could you maybe take a few minutes and again talk, give us an update on the event?
Sure. So the Bastion Smash in itself is, as it's called, just Bastions fighting against each other. It is the successor to the Air Anomaly Smash, which happened 1 year ago at this point. We never got to make a new one. And so it's still the old team. So Path and myself are the ones in charge. And Path approached me 2 weeks ago saying like, hey, we can't do an air anomaly smash anymore because they are gone. And we kind of really needed them in order to get people to continuously pull ESFs and whatnot. But he said like it would be fun to just put up bastions against one another in a contained and fair environment. You don't have to deal with sky guards. You don't have to deal with prowlers shooting you out of the air, that sort of stuff. So we went to work. We created the entire formula. We created the rule set, and in the back of my mind, I thought I recalled that back in the closed testing area where we tested Desolation, I thought that Cardo at some point pulled us two carriers on the same faction. And since we already needed dev support regardless, it would have made our lives a lot easier if we had dev support, because the other option that we had, which is definitely viable, was to just have 3 outfits per side. It was a best of 3. After every round, everyone in the outfit switches outfit to another one. We pull a new bastion, and you have another go for 1 hour. So no matter the response from the devs, we had our system already in place. It would have been awful. It would have been annoying for the players themselves, but we knew what we were doing. And so I reached out to the devs, first to Cardo and then later to Justin, asking if they could provide us a dev to potentially spawn new carriers for us. And then at the end, I asked the rest of the team, and specifically Path, if it was a good idea to ask about potentially increasing the size of the amount of the carriers, just to make it a gimmicky and unique experience, because you can't do that on live. And then against what I expected initially, I got a positive response back, and then the entire event took a completely different scale. So now we're fielding 3 bastions at the same time. The bastions will not have a time limit since they're admin spawned, which means that we can go up to 90 minutes, which is the preferred time in our eyes. We still don't know if the bastions actually are going to survive. We have 6 commandos, 4 of which are from Emerald, 2 of which are from Cobalt. It's going to hopefully be a fun experience. It was a shitload of work to do, but we are at a point where now we're just looking at people trickle in, and hopefully in 2.5 weeks, we're going to have a fun event. Actually, it's 3 weeks.
And where can people sign up for the event?
So there is a Reddit post that is sticking at the moment. The event was posted on the official Planetside 2 Discord. You can find all the links there, from the rule set. If you've never played in a Jaeger event, which we are catering to the very, very casual people, so that's a very much important concern of ours. There is a document on how you will be able to access Jaeger once you'll be given your own account. There are the 2 official sign-up documents for solos and outfits, and the Discord link is there as well, which is a requirement for you to join if you're either a solo or an outfit representative. And it should be noted that the signups will end on the 19th of April at midnight. So from the 19th until the 20th, UTC. At that point, we're not going to take any more signups in order to make balancing properly, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be casual. So we need it to be balanced properly.
No other aircraft can be pulled?
So the rule set is basically everything's allowed in terms of pulling air, even Valkyries. I expressed my distaste for that because you're not allowed to pull Striker Valks, for example. So why would you pull Valkyries? But it's like, it's casual. Let people do what they want. So we went with that. You can pull any ESF, Liberator, Galaxy, and Valkyrie with any weapon you would like. But understand this, nanites are a valuable resource. You can pull infinite amounts of ESFs from the Bastion carriers, but considering the amount of players we already have signed up and the amount of players we're expecting to sign up, there may or may not be queues, which means that people will need to spawn their own aircraft regardless. So the idea was, we're putting a big value on your own vehicles, so you don't just spam them into the enemy's line of defense and just die over and over. But the things that are not allowed are you're not allowed to jump into a turret, like a non-bastion turret, and shoot down aircraft. You're not allowed to spawn any ground vehicles. You're not allowed to use any infantry weapons. So bailing out and shooting someone with your rocket rifle, striker, or whatnot is not allowed. Bailing onto a carrier, even though that is a fun idea, at least for this situation, is not allowed either. There will be no construction bases, so infinite spawns are also not going to be a thing. And that's about it.
I think the biggest thing I see here is like rep galaxies can be huddling up around the bastion, and
Yes,
that can become quite a problem for the others.
we're expecting this to be a strategy that will be deployed by both sides, since that is basically the meta on life nowadays. I saw the stream from Archie today about the Soltec three-way Bastion Smash. Was fun to watch. Even got to jump into my own observer cam and observe it. But the biggest issue I have personally, and that's, I believe, something that cannot be fixed, is people shooting at the bastions from long range and the defensive galaxies not being rendered and thus not being hit. So that the bastions just die too quickly because the amount of people in one area is too high. If that happens, there are sort of contingency plans we already have. No matter what, people will be able to play for at least 1 hour to 90 minutes, regardless of what happens. But it is something, if we could pull through with the 3 bastions, or at least both teams surviving for over 1 hour, that is already a plus in my book. It is highly experimental, and I should mention this for both my sake and the devs' sake. The devs are granting us something here, like not us in terms of our organizer team, but the community, that is highly experimental. If this goes well, then this will go much, much further than just an event. That is all I can say in that regard. But if you are signing yourself up, you need to agree to a clause which tells you that this is highly experimental. Bugs that may have not been accounted for may occur. Issues that have never been seen before, simply due to the fact that we've always had 1 bastion per site so far, it may or may not happen. So please be aware of that and accept this fact. So the devs are simply just trying to make sure that people take this event with the same mentality that you would with a PTS playtest. Because that is what it basically is. It is a event for stress testing, as well as testing new mechanics that everyone can add 1 + 1. If it works, why would it not be able to be put on live? So that's my personal opinion, at least.
And you guys have not tested yet if it works well with a large amount of players.
Well, how do you... what do you mean?
I don't know. Maybe you guys have pulled already free during a test phase, or...
Well, if it was impossible to pull 3 carriers, then I would not be able to confirm the event. That has been confirmed to me by the devs. What the devs are concerned about are things that might happen with a lot of players. Bugs are going to be ever present everywhere. Anyone who's played Planetside 2 knows that bugs creep out everywhere, no matter how much testing you do. That is simply Planetside. I'm
just curious though, because I think bastions fly on a different height, like if different levels. Would it be like equal, like all the 3 sites have like equal heights?
I have not been let in on that secret.
Okay. Then guys will have to watch, I think.
all the pilots have been briefed to stay away from one another. That's about it. Again, anything that may or may not happen has been accounted for. Anything that's on a technical level that is outside of my or our realm of being able to deal with, that's the stuff that the devs are warning against, like that weird graphical glitches occur that have never been seen before, or stuff like that. That's the warning for it. We don't expect it to happen, but it is still very experimental.
Cool. Ace, have you heard of the event before?
Yeah, I did hear about it from some of my buddies.
And what do you think?
I'm actually really excited for this. I think this could be kind of a new big community event every couple of months, like Community Smash. it's a little bit harder to stack than I think a community smash would be.
Do you agree, Coralus?
I was laughing, but I don't know. It's the first time, as Alva said, that this has been done, and it's going to be very interesting to see how it works out. So I'm actually quite excited for it.
And I think, if I'm correct, Alpha will be streamed by RCTV as well and Punanis, or
Yes, that
Ooh.
is the current plan, but it's not official yet.
okay. Then we'll wait and see. Anyway, cool. If you get any updates from me, Alpha, let me know, of course. And guys, if you want to sign up, you can find the link on the Reddit page. But also, I think if you go to Reddit, to the Twitter of Planetside 2, you might find a retweet. I'm not sure, actually. Anyway, the next topic is going to be Lane Smash. And before we move over to that topic, any players in here participating with Lane Smash?
Yes.
I am
think
playing
Coralus
for it.
as well.
Yeah, Alpha and I are playing for the same team.
Which team are you playing for, Asorr?
Short stack.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm just going to crack my knuckles real quick.
Okay, and have you guys had previous experiences with Lane Smash?
Yes.
Yes, I've played in the last season with Stack.
Same. I've been a tanker for them, which is why I'm back again. I have taken over a team midway through the previous Lane Smash thing. That was Cat from Cobalt. It was an interesting experience, but yeah.
And can you give us, guys, for the people that don't know Lane Smash, a short summary? What does it contain?
Lots and lots of drama.
Wow, what happened last
Very
year?
interesting.
I'm not joking. Everyone always says the best part about Lane Smash is the drama that starts the moment it's announced. But Lane Smash is what most people would consider Planetside in its purest form. Usually there are few restrictions. The one thing which you can already deduct from the name is it's one lane. You have two starting bases, which are sort of your warp gate. They're usually big bases like the tech plant, an AM station. On Amrish, for example, there's one where you go from Crook's headquarters. They're your starting bases. You have one or two bases already switched to your sides. There may or may not be one neutral base in the middle, and then you have your enemy side of the lane. And your objective is to capture their home base. You have a specific amount of time.
40 minutes?
I believe so. And you can only field 24 people. The main point that a lot of people seem to forget or don't want to admit is there are no such things as Bushido rules or whatnot. It is a complete fight of who can bring cheese in the most efficient way, who can play together in the most efficient way, and a complete fight of attrition. Whoever runs out of nanites first is most likely to lose, simply to the fact that the enemy will bring force multipliers such as air-to-ground weapons, maxes, hesh tanks, or normal tanks. That is Lane Smash in a nutshell.
So if you want to bring 24 maxes, I don't think it's really strategic, but you could just bring 24 maxes if you wanted to.
You could, and one or two harassers would have a field day by just driving them over, and boom, you would be out of a bunch of nanites.
Fair enough. So it's a bit like Ifit War, so you have access to nanites, but you need to really think how to use it.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm kind of I think there's quite some overlap in those two. Of course, the biggest difference is that Lane Smash is 1v1 and Ifit Wars is 1v1v1. Is Ifit Wars, is the Lane Smash also more competitive in your opinion, Asorr?
I actually haven't played in Lane Smash before. This is my first time.
Oh, really? Okay. And Coralus, do you think it's more competitive, the Lane Smash, or also more casual?
I think it's more competitive, especially due to the outfits that partake in it. You have a certain group of outfits who will try hard the living fuck out of it, I'd say. And you have another group of outfits or groups of outfits that will just play because it's fun or because they want to play together or try something new. But if you would want to win, you would need a very serious outfit, I'd say.
And I don't really understand the scheme or the dates. So you got to play multiple lane smash matches, and then in the end, there's like a scoring system, or is it like a knockout system?
What they're using is a bracket system in which they put different skill tiers into different brackets. Some people agree with that, some people don't. And in the end, the winners of certain brackets will face teams from other brackets. So, for example, if you're in the second bracket and you win the second bracket, you get to face the teams in the first bracket. And I think if you lose the second bracket, you get to face teams in the third bracket.
Interesting. And it is starting soon, I think, or is it?
Starts
Well-
in May, but the pre-season already started. Sorry, Asa.
No, you're fine.
And the preseason is just training right now, or is it anything serious?
Just training.
Just
Like
training.
today.
Some practice matches.
Yeah, if for guys watching right now, if you want to, see how it is like, you can already watch the training sessions. I think Archie just streamed one, so you can just rewatch one. I think it's a pretty interesting concept. I haven't seen it last year, so I think it's back again right now in 2020 after not being there for a year. Or was it? I'm doubting right now.
It's
I
about a
believe so.
year ago.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit longer, but roughly around that time.
We could actually look.
Is it, by the way, organized by a Planetside Battles team, or is it just this like a different group?
It's pretty much a subgroup of Planetside Battles, and then you have to include Motong as well.
Yeah.
Like PSB has people in all the events. There's no reason not to include them.
Yes.
I believe Michael is considered PSB though. He's the head organizer.
I mean, everything Jaeger related is in some way connected to one of these guys, so
Yes.
makes sense.
Like it or not.
Yes. Then we got one final Smash on our topic list, and this one is the Community Smash. And luckily, we got one of the organizers in a group over here. Coralus, again, can you give us a few minute insight on what the Community Smash is?
Well, Community Smash is an event that has happened for about 7 times now. This is going to be the 8th iteration, and it is basically a massive battle. It's a 1v1. Usually we see about a 350 versus 350 or 400 versus 400. All factions, all servers can participate in this event. It is, however, only for PC, so no crossplay with PS4. And basically what will happen is we open the signups, people will sign up, and then we'll balance the teams. And those teams will then make the preparations for the Smash. And on the Smash, you'll have 2 teams facing off against each other. It will be a 1.5 hour match. There are certain restrictions that are currently in place. All are mostly there due to balance reasons. So, for example, we're not allowing construction or not allowing war assets. But yeah, it will basically be 1.5 hours, just the full-out brawl and just see who wins. That's basically it.
I've heard there was a lot of drama last year regarding balance and certain more like pilot outfits. Are there any changes this year regarding that, or?
Well, with balance, it's always a very difficult thing because as organizers, we have to balance for people skill. We have to balance for their commitment during a Smash. We have to balance for the commitment before a Smash, the players that they bring, the players they might not bring but will show up as reserves, their skill in vehicles, their skill on the ground, their skill in the air. So it's all a very complicated process to actually get the balance right. And unfortunately, it has gone horribly wrong in the past couple of in the past 2 Smashes. However, we've currently, or we believe that a major factor is that we're unable to balance very large and cohesive outfits. Therefore, we've implemented a rule which will allow us to either split or refuse that sign up. And this only really applies to the really top tier outfits who can also bring 36 players, or groups of outfits who also bring 36 players. And we do believe that with this rule in place, we can actually, or it will basically allow us for better balancing. So balancing should not be an issue this match. I hope.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I thought it was pretty fun last year, even though there were some balancing issues. But I think that's the main goal, right? Having fun.
Yes, the idea of a community smash, and people treat it differently, of course. But the idea from an organizer's perspective is we want people to have fun for 1.5 hours, to just have a fun time, not bother about Zerg Fit Y capping that base because they got 96 plus and you only have 12 men in your outfit. It's basically just there so people can have a fun time. It's not meant to be competitive. Basically, everyone can show up as long as you sign up. And it's just there for fun, really.
I've also seen you got some horrible messages last year, or even the year before, like even death threats. How do you still actually, be motivated to do another event like this?
Personally, I like organizing things, and that's the main reason why I'm doing it. Simply because it kind of gives you like this rush of excitement if you actually manage to pull off an event with, let's say, 700 players. But especially starting this year, it was quite tough. I really didn't want to go for another one.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, I got some death threats with my address in it.
Wow, your real address.
Yeah, my full address, like
Pooh.
full address, name,
Yikes.
phone number, all of that shit. So I kind of got sick of this community for a little while. But yeah, I guess I'm addicted to organizing shit. So here we are.
Yeah, kudos, man. I think it's really cool because again, it's all voluntarily what you guys are doing. So yeah, good effort. One
And I have no
question.
idea.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was about to say I have no idea how much time Alpha put in, but probably quite a lot as well. But organizing these smashes, or Bastion Smash, or Lane Smash, or Community Smash, takes a ton of time. Personally, we're only in the prep stages for Community Smash, and I've easily spent 20 to 30 hours a week on it. From
Dude.
previous experience, I know it turns into 30 to 40 hours a week in like the 2-3 weeks prior to the event, at least for me. So there's an incredible amount of effort that actually goes into this, and it's just there so people can have fun.
I remember hearing from the leader on my team last year. Like he said, he spent like 6 or 7 hours in a call just trying to balance the teams with the other guy. From what I remember.
Yeah, pretty much. It was usually we have a balanced meeting. So if we close signups on the Saturday, we'll have a meeting on Sunday, which usually lasts about 3 to 4 hours, and then we'll have an initial draft. Then we'll send the draft out to a ton of different outfit leaders, maybe such as yourself, or players who have signed up, or just so we get a very wide spread of people who can have their give their input onto this balance. And then we usually go back into a call and have another balance session of a couple of hours and hope we get to a final balance, which is also balanced. And also there's a ton of talk in between these meetings where we just start discussing outfits, moving one outfit to the other team, exchanging 2 outfits for 2 other outfits. Let's say we've just heard some Russian outfit has some kind of feud or hate relationship with another Czech outfit for some reason, and we can't put them on the same team. Sometimes they're French teams who want to be put together, and sometimes they hate each other. So yeah, balancing is definitely the part of the whole event that puts the most strain on any organizer, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys do care about the balance, so even if it goes wrong, you guys did your best at least.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't we? I mean, there's no reason for us to intentionally fuck up balance because, as I said, I've put so much time into this, and I will put a ton of time into this. Why would I want to mess up the balance?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I want to go back to my comment earlier about Community Smash being stacked. I more so meant like leaders. Leaders, if they're not coordinated, it all falls apart. And I remember like I got no coordination because I was leading one of the armor column for my group. We were put on Soulless Nature apparently, which was kind of a poor idea in my opinion, but whatever. There was no communication between who was in charge of my section and me. So I know a lot of it comes down to communication between higher, lower, and everything in between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely see this as an issue. Like usually we send out a feedback form at the end, and this is definitely a thing that we've gotten a lot of feedback on. And in an attempt to not fully fix this, because you can't really fully fix communication between outfits because people just hate each other for random reasons sometimes. We have put a limit on the amount of organizers that can actually play. And we've put more, or we're planning to put more organizers towards each team and actually just look at what the FC at least look at what the FC is doing, see if his or her communication is going well, and seeing where we can help to improve that communication, which is quite vital in Smashes, of course.
Do we know who the two FCs are?
We don't. We have a FC sign up open, but last time I checked, which was about a couple of days ago, we had 0 serious signups. Usually we get about 20 troll signups in the end. Currently, we're only at 1 troll signup, so that's the plus. But yeah.
I mean, there's quite some responsibility if you want to be a serious force commander, so I understand for some it's harder to do.
Usually, we don't get our force commanders from the sign up. Usually, we actually have to go to people and beg them to force command.
Really?
Yes. Either because they A, don't sign up, or B, they have to be convinced to sign up. Because FCing, organizing, leading platoons can all piss people off, and that's why some people just don't want to do it.
You can only do it wrong.
Yeah. Thing is, people will always have something to complain about. So, and especially with the lovely Planetside drama, it's just something you need to look at.
You also mentioned motivation. I was for once playing with Nicky G as a squad leader. He was doing these solo signups. And I think it also matters a lot, like you mentioned. Some people are really wanting to go for the win. They give trainings, they try to help these solo players, whereas others just, try to have fun, or a bit less serious. But I think our side was really going for the win, whereas maybe the other side was less going for the win. So that's something you can't balance beforehand. So
That's very true. We've had outfits in the 6th Smash try hard the living hell out of the Smash, and then during the 7th Smash, we balanced them based on their previous tryharding, and I think they brought about 12 players less than they should have, and didn't really do anything. So all of these things and all of these factors and all of these variables just make it nigh impossible, or pretty much improbable, to get a proper balance going.
Well, if you want to sign up for the event, where do you need to go?
Well, we have a quote-unquote official PS2 Community Smash Discord. We also have a Reddit post, which is probably stickied at the top of every single subreddit. So the Planetside subreddit and all of the server subreddits.
Mm-hmm.
And people can also just message me on Discord.
Okay, clear.
So that should be all.
Cool. Those are all Smash topics for today. I do have an extra topic, and again, I want to remind you guys in chat right now, you can ask a question, exclamation mark question, followed by your question, of course, and our team of Smash experts will help you out, of course. I want to start, though, with a topic that I saw raised on Reddit regarding total amount of money spent on Planetside 2. Have you guys seen it?
Uh-oh.
I haven't seen it.
I have not.
Okay, Alpha, are you willing to share the amount of money you spent on Planetside 2?
I believe I had a grand total of either 6 or 9 months of membership. That's about it. And I bought them in patches of 3. So whatever that costs.
It's like 90 euros.
I believe it was 60. I believe it was 6 months. So that's But that's it. I didn't do anything else than that.
No bundles, no nothing.
No, nothing. I still have like 5,000 Daybreak cash on my account. With the Daybreak cash that I got from the membership, I bought myself grayscale armor, I believe a commissioner, and an NS15, and that's it.
Okay. Asorr, have you spent any money in the game?
Way too much.
Yeah.
I'm probably around 1,200.
Dude.
Yeah. A lot of that's some of that's membership. I know for 3 years in a row I bought the anniversary bundle.
Mhm.
Just because I really wanted the game to keep going, even though I know most of that money was going to other projects.
Did you also get the lifetime membership?
No, I did not. And then there was also some things I bought throughout the years. Not too much though.
Yeah, I'm just thinking right now. If you played the game for quite some years now, if you divide it by, for example, the 8 years, it's still a lot of money, of course. But do you think it's worth it? Do you regret spending so much in the game?
Honestly, at this point, no. No, I don't. Yeah, some of that money probably was put towards Planetside Arena or H1Z1 behind the scenes, but now everything's kind of focused on Planetside, and so I'm gonna keep spending money to keep the game going. I really don't need anything else, to be honest, but hey, I really enjoy the game, and I put I think I'm around 5,000 hours worth in the game, and
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's a lot. If you count that, you spend like 20 cents every hour you play the game. That's not too bad.
No.
And Mr. Coralus, have you spent any money in the game?
Yes, but luckily not as much as.
Okay.
I think I've had a membership for 2 years, and both were like year packages.
Yeah.
Probably about 200 euros. Don't know for sure. And I've probably spent between 50 and 100 euros on NS weapons, things like Desi, commies, and underbosses, stuff like that. Pilot.
Did you think the membership was worth the money, or was it also to support the game?
I didn't really, to be honest, put the money in to support the game. I did it because I was playing very actively at the time, and at that moment it was worth it for me.
Mm-hmm.
However, now I don't really play that much anymore. I don't really see the added benefit of membership.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's a free game, of course, and I mean, if you look back at the poll that was actually posted on Reddit, I think half of the players hadn't spent like a single dollar on the game. That's fair. There are quite some freeloaders as well in the game, but it's free, so you can't expect much. I myself, I spent I think 60 on a half a year membership, and I spent 15 I think on the physical box of Planetside, the DVD box. So around 75.
Something that's interesting is the disparity between the amount of people that don't spend any money, but the people that do are usually in ludicrous amounts. Like, I thought people would be around me, but then I do realize that 3 months of membership is like $30, so like 60 for half a year. You easily get to the amount of hundreds quite easily by just paying for membership, not even including the bundles.
I think once you start spending money in the game, you kind of, that's an important border you need to cross. Once you start spending money, it's easy to spend more in the same game. So that's why I think why there are so many like whales in the game.
I mean, well, it isn't that way for me. The reason why I spent money, I mean, I think I got like 2,500 hours into the game without spending a single dollar. The way I kind of try to make up for it is what I've done over the past 7 years, from helping train people, training outfits, doing basically like partially promotional work for them and stuff like that. But I did it because that was the time when Drew was around and he played with B-Way at that time. And also, yeah, it was mostly to support the game. Did it make an impact on the game itself in terms of, for me, the membership bonus? A little bit. I do kind of miss it a little bit, but for the amount of time I spend in the game at the moment, it's not worth it for me.
I brought up the topic because, of course, escalation brought in a lot of new people, but also people that spend money. And I don't know if you guys saw the message by Andy Site on that specific topic, but apparently they're starting to hire more people again at Rogue Planet Games, and that's due to, well, the game being a big financial success right now. That is actually what I think pretty surprising, especially because the team is pretty big already as it is, 30 guys. I just want to ask. I know it's a bit of a strange question or harsh topic. Do you guys think there's any place for Planetside 3, like financially?
I think they need to completely revamp everything, and like I liked kind of the colorfulness of the maps or the map in Planetside Arena, and like everything looked like over the years it wouldn't age in the way it looks, which is, some people like that. I definitely did. And
You mean
Planetside definitely looks aged.
It's a timeless art style. You mean that? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timeless art style is the wording. And they need to probably make it on a bigger scale, a little more efficient too.
So Planetside 3 will be like Planetside Arena, but then bigger scale, more Planetside like warfare, I guess. 3 factions, something like that.
3 factions. I still think it would have to be the same Planetside 2 type continents. It'd have to be bigger though, more continents. Something that would give value. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I think. Oh, sorry. No, go ahead.
No, Carlos, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, Coralus.
Wait, no, I'll go.
Yeah, you go.
This is not going to end well. So,
I refuse to talk now.
The original question you asked was about the financial part, and I saw that NSEC posted an answer, and I agree with that. Financially speaking, that's not going to happen for some time. I would love to be wrong, but I don't. Considering the scale that they themselves said they would like to go for, and considering the changes they're making to Planetside 2, which are very RPG focused, like that's not a bad joke in terms of their name, but they're putting in a lot of role play elements, like leveling the whole sanctuary thing. You have to keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure if they were to make a third one, their focus would be to include new mechanics that are going to be more MMORPG based.
So
I wouldn't even be opposed to that.
Would you say that would be like a version of Destiny combined with Planetside?
I hope not. I hope not. But I think there might be more to it.
How would you make it more RPG if it's like MMO type of first-person shooter like Planetside? Like that's a lot to kind of tack on if you think about it.
Right, but I mean, none of us really. I want to say a lot of us didn't really see Sanctuary happen in the way that it did. I mean, for the most part, a couple of months ago, the people I hung around with didn't really grasp the concept of, traders and whatnot sitting in Sanctuary. It just didn't fit into the back then version of Planetside. Do I think it does now? It's the norm. In Planetside itself, if I want to be a complete, purist for Planetside and for how it has been for the past 6-7 years, I don't think it fits, but I like this iteration of Planetside. I think if they were to make Planetside 3, it would be much more focused on that, on a more architectural, structure point of view. Like, it would be from the ground up more focused on that. But then again, if you take into consideration what, for example, Asorr said in terms of the scale, you're talking about a budget that's
way
high.
far. Yeah,
we're talking hundreds of millions.
Wow. Then we're talking about Star Citizen kind of budgets.
No,
GTA
not at that point,
5.
but- Yeah, look, GTA might be a good point to actually go off. Like if you take a look at any of the big MMOs and their budget, which I do because I want to become a game developer, that's the sort of money we're talking about probably. It's an estimation. I don't know, but that's what I would expect. I'm just thinking right now they're definitely focused on Planetside 2. Maybe a subdivision is already working on Planetside 3. Everything's possible, but I don't think we're seeing Planetside 3 for a long time.
I wonder what's coming in the next update, like somewhat, medium-sized update, because they usually throw one in. I would think they're going to throw one in soon.
It's probably going to be the tank, the Colossus.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure, or 99.
I'm hoping there's something a little more than that, though.
Well, as far as I know and what I've heard from different people is that they're actually, or they have 2 devs who are focusing on just Sanctuary.
Mhm.
So it probably has some update to Sanctuary as well.
I
Whether
hope-
it be vendors, mini games, outfit interactions.
I mean,
anything
outfit
of the sort.
alliances would be really nice right now to also help the mid fits and small fits. So
Yep.
I think that should be priority number 1 to help the current
Something like
game as
NATO,
well.
but in-game.
Yeah. That would make, I think, the game less toxic, and I think that's one of the biggest problems we have right now in the game.
Yeah, settling disputes was kind of the biggest thing we had to come over.
It's just like when they announced Sanctuary, I remember that I didn't fully understand what they were gonna go for. They said that they're going to put a huge emphasis on Sanctuary and the social aspect of the game, which, let's be honest, we didn't really have that until Sanctuary. And I always connected with it, I don't know, something out of World of Warcraft, considering I've never played WoW. That's a far stretch. Now we do have that. We have the demonic rituals in the middle circle between all the vendors, and
But
stuff is good, but it will definitely be more developed without a doubt.
weren't there like demonic circles earlier in the warp gates? So the only
Yeah,
thing
but this one
shifted.
it has right, but this one has all 3 factions, so it's even stronger.
I'm still waiting for them to implement the all-faction voice chat. That's one of the biggest
no.
draws for me, and I know it will probably be very, but I'm just curious how it will develop.
I mean, I don't really see the added benefit of all-faction voice chat. Sure, it's a good thing for the first couple of days or weeks, but after that, it will probably just get.
I don't know.
I think you're missing the fact that a lot of the a huge amount of the players are just casuals, really, and them
totally.
sitting in Sanctuary and talking to the enemy might, quote unquote enemy, might actually be fun, and see that, hey, there's other people that are they're also people, which can be detrimental to some because they like their faction loyalty, but at the end of the day, it's still a game, and it might create new friendships, new outfits, whatnot to come of it.
Definitely true, and I'm totally not the expert on Sanctuary, looking at the fact that I've only visited Sanctuary once, and that was yesterday.
And how did you like it? Is it something nice plays, or are you coming back?
It took quite a long time to run to the vendors to find out that I didn't have enough of that new resource yet. So
Good old burlap camo.
yeah,
Do you
I rated
think
4 out of 10.
Do you think the new resource system is a bit confusing with all the different kind of like, I lost the name, like all the different coins you have right now?
The Andy coins.
Personally, I don't think it's confusing, but that's coming from someone who's played Planetside for multiple years. I think for people who are joining Planetside with the suboptimal new player experience that the game already has, it will be significantly more difficult to grasp the game and to grasp what is actually going on and where I can get this resource and how do I get that one. And So it definitely hasn't helped new players in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you go in as a complete new player, for us, it's just like, yeah, okay, you have this new Andy coin with which you can buy new weapons, and the other one which is for outfit stuff. The outfit stuff, definitely good. But I think if you're completely new, and this comes from a point of ignorance, I want to say from my part, I just looked at it and went like, okay, I get merit from base defenses and captures. Don't know where I get the other one from, but I don't really. It doesn't really matter to me. But as a new player, I can definitely expect them to go like, "What is this? What is that?" It does potentially overcomplicate it for no reason. I think Rogue Wolf does. Either I'm confusing the question in regards to the new stuff. If you're thinking about the outfit resources, or are you talking about the personal resources?
I mean,
that
we've
you
got
have?
the different currencies right now, but even the outfit resources are another resource system within the game. So
Yeah, I think if you're new, I don't think you would understand, other than the fact that that it's always the base in the middle, why exactly the purple stuff only comes from that base. So sure, I can see like them going, oh, this one gives me a blue. If I'm completely new to the game, for example, I would not understand why a vehicle base, which most people probably won't know it even is, gives me the same resources as, for example, a tech plant. I can see that being confusing, but I also don't think it really matters at that point, unless the new guy is an outfit leader. In
no,
that
if you're
case,
if you're new, it's all fine. I mean, you're gonna learn eventually. I hope if you actually stick to the game, because in the first place, you're not really curious about the resource. You're curious about the shooting mechanics, about the maxes, about the classes. So the other things will come later, I think. But just coming back to the question about the sanctuaries, I haven't asked Asa yet. What do you think about the sanctuaries right now in the current state? Asa.
I would like to see it become more of a place where you can kind of have 1v1 places to train, or maybe 3v3 and or 6v6, kind of just for scrimming. I know Jaeger's a great place for that, but having that as an option in game would allow a lot of people to practice a little bit more on getting better on their own.
Yeah. I agree, especially right now since Coltera is missing from the, well, he's missing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're actually getting to the end of the podcast right now. It's already been 11 o'clock over here. Are there any more questions from the stream? If so, let me know using exclamation mark question. Otherwise, do you guys have any final words?
Fuck Ellis.
Fuck Gelos.
It's a random.
it's a good meme. Lots of smashes happening. Technically, okay. If you are a new player, stuff's gonna be a little bit harder for you. Regardless, the amount of community-driven stuff we have right now is probably record level for the Planetside community. Like the stuff that we have at the same time frame, at least. Go take a look. Lane Smash is already a set and done thing. You can no longer sign up for it. Community Smash, you will be able to sign up for it. Bastion Smash, you still can sign up for that. Generally speaking, take a look around. You'll meet new people. The same thing goes for all types of players. Like Community Smash and Bastion Smash are both for casual people. One's on the ground, one's in the air. I'm not going to be presumptuous and say what Com Smash is about, but Bastion Smash is more for the spectacle, really, rather than any competitiveness or winning or losing. It's just if you're part of it, you'll see how epic hopefully it is, and have fun for the most part. But it's certainly a good time to get into the game, have fun, meet new people, maybe find an outfit, maybe through an event even, and just enjoy. And from what we've heard, there's a lot more new cool stuff to come. So maybe you can even be part of the journey of getting there.
Being part of the journey, isn't that is I think the best reason to join right now one of the community events.
I'd agree with that.
It's a special thing, and it's just there so people can have fun or watch or have fun whilst watching or looking at a massive spectacle, as Alpha said. So
Yeah, even if you don't want to join, if you don't feel comfortable with playing on Jaeger or you don't feel comfortable flying, for example, which I can understand. I hug every fucking tree that I see if I fly. You can still watch it. Like all the community-driven events are not locked. They have official casts. They are going to be blasted by RPG's Twitter and stuff. Like you can see streams, videos afterwards. Everything's open to the community. After all, it is made by community members for the community. So in general, I just say give it a shot. If you're scared of something, talk to an organizer and they're going to be able to tell you that you're probably wrong and shouldn't be scared and you're going to have a lot of fun. And in general, join the game. Yes, right now, and that's certainly something. It's going to be a little bit chaotic. If you compare it to a couple of weeks ago when Outfit Wars wasn't a thing just yet. But still, we're on the path to hopefully getting a better system, specifically in that regard. And for the most part, you don't really have to deal with that unless you're in an outfit and you're somewhat involved. But aside from that, just enjoy, jump in, have fun.
Have fun. I think that's a really nice note to end it on. Thank you so much, Coralus, Alpha, Asorr, for being here tonight, and asking all the questions and talking about all these smashes.
Also, I do quickly want to say that
sure.
Archie will win the hair battle.
What? I'm definitely yeah.
What?
Out of words. We've got a question from the Rogue Wolf. Now we've got a question from the Rogue Wolf. In a battle between your hair and Archie's hair, who would win? Now it's really silent and it's awkward. Ugh, it's yeah.
Yeah, but have you seen Paul's mohawk?
Yes, I miss him every day.
He's no longer with us in the Planetside community, but can any of you really stand against him? I don't think so.
Please hire back Paul.
We'll miss you, Paul. And Drew as well. I think both are working right now on...
Paul's working on a secret project, and I'm happy to say, and this is not to brag, but I'm happy to say that I'm still in contact with him, and he's doing well.
Okay.
I'm glad to actually know that.
I talked to Drew, I think it was last week on TeamSpeak, and he's doing well as well. So
they're both. What is it like the Bethesda company above them? ZeniMax. ZeniMax.
Really? Yeah.
I don't know.
So Drew,
I'm at least happy.
On ESO.
I'm happy.
That... Nick as well. Never forget about Nick. Nick works at Twitch now, as far as I know.
Yeah, but I don't think it fits with Nick. But well, if he's happy, I'm happy as well.
Before we just like drag this out way longer, if you ever actually want to look up Nick Silva, you'll see how insane that man.
What do you mean? Tell me a bit of insight.
1 second.
We've got a computer crash from Asorr. Thank you again, Mr. Asorr, also for being on here. So if you guys don't know, Asorr is the lead of NATO and also part of multiple IFITs, or at least groups. Right now, currently, you see the logo of Right. He's really active on Emerald.
Yes.
No, Nick Silva has worked on a lot of games, from Sid Meier's Civilization and so on. Like, he's been in a lot of positions I've seen. Like, that man has my absolute respect.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he's just, I don't know. He was, of course, not the, I don't know. He wasn't really active in the community. You wouldn't really see him often or hear from him often. But he was, I think, one of the silent people that were important for the game.
Definitely. Since I worked with him on a few things, I saw how much time he spent, since I had him added on Discord and it was his work Discord. Yeah. So I always saw how long he was online, and he regularly spent like 10 plus hours, sometimes even longer. Like the amount of overtime he spent was ridiculous.
I mean, we must understand that back then, when he was part of the team, he was not the main focus like right now. Like right now, RPG is the focus of the company almost, with Planetside 2. Back then it was H1Z1 and Arena and so many other things. So he did what he could do with the resource he had. So mad respect, like really.
No, definitely. It feels a little bit bad that, you know, after he's gone, now it's looking up. I feel it's not fair, but that is sadly how it is.
Yeah, I mean it's life, I guess.
Yeah, but it's definitely those guys, or those guys are definitely the reason why the game is still alive. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They helped the line basically. I feel the same about the content creators that we've lost over the years. Like especially in the cinematic community, like Lil Babs, Panda and stuff. It feels a little bit shitty, honestly, to see how these people have tried in a period where there was not as much fuzz around Planetside. Now it's looking up, but all of them are burned out. I certainly felt like that myself, and it's just I look at Lil Babs and it's like, you should come back. But those are the people, in my opinion, who've held the line for the time, and now we're here and it's going up.
Still, it's rough, of course. The hype is dying down a little bit of escalation, so they need
It would
something
be very interesting
new.
to see what it turns into. Yeah.
But that's, I think, a good question for a new podcast. Again, thank you so much, guys. I don't want to drag it out a lot longer, so thank you so much, and I will see you guys soon with some more content.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.